Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Osman. Today we'll take a look at efforts by volunteers to clean up Volusia County shorelines. We'll look at passenger numbers for the month of August at Daytona Beach International Airport, and it's another happy ending for the Marine Science Center. Health reporter Stephanie Strong examines HIV and AIDS in Volusia County. Then Business Beat reporter Joanne Magley takes us for an up-close look at a new business training program available to local companies to help them go from good to Volusia's best. And finally, joining Community Information Director Dave Byron in the studio for an in-depth interview is University of Central Florida Incubator Manager Connie Bernal. Those segments, news, and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. Stay tuned. The number of passengers traveling through Daytona Beach International Airport dipped 8% in August in spite of packed flights on the airport's two main carriers, Delta and U.S. Airways. According to Jay Cassens, the business development director at the airport, there's a need for more seat capacity, but the trend throughout the airline industry nationwide has been to constrain. So, in other words, there are fewer seats in the market in spite of the fact that demand continues to be extremely high.
Well, overall, the airline industry in general is constraining capacity, and a lot of the airports are losing capacity because the airports are cutting back flights and trying to maximize their revenue on every single flight. For the month of September, we kind of expect about the same. But then looking forward, October, the fall, and the winter, and especially with JetBlue starting up in January, everything looks very positive. So we expect capacity to increase throughout the rest of the year.
On the positive side of things, looking ahead at the fall and winter schedules, Cassens said the airport expects an increase in the number of seats offered, and obviously the passenger traffic will increase next year with JetBlue Airways starting service to New York City starting January 7th. So in August, 51,535 passengers flew in or out of Daytona Beach International Airport. This compares with 55,702 passengers last August. For the 12 months ending August 31st, passenger traffic at Daytona Beach International Airport is down slightly from 629,972 passengers last year to 624,959 passengers this year. Delta and U.S. Air had an average passenger load factor, which is the number of seats filled, of 96%. That's the highest of the year. Delta by itself had a 97% load factor, its highest of the year, and 14% higher than the national average for seats filled. Delta also reported a 99% load factor for passengers departing. For more information, you can go to the airport's website at flydaytonafirst.com. The Marine Science Center in Ponce Inlet recently celebrated another success story. The center took in a sickly 6-pound sea turtle 5 months ago and literally saved his life. Bentley, a juvenile green sea turtle, was found on the beach in Ponce Inlet and brought to the Marine Science Center's Turtle Hospital in April. The youngster was weak, underweight, and covered in algae and barnacles, indicating that he had been inactive for quite some time. He also had a healed wound on top of his head that left it severely indented. Fortunately, X-rays showed that the turtle's brain and internal organs were intact. The Marine Science Center staff went to work right away, cleaning him up and removing the barnacles.
First thing that we noticed when we were doing his exam was that he had a large dent in his forehead, the top part of his skull, and it was a healed wound, but it was pretty indented, so we were concerned about any neurological damage or brain damage that might be going on underneath that. And luckily for Bentley, the wound was about 1 millimeter away from his brain casing, so he's a very, very lucky turtle.
After 5 months in the Turtle Hospital, Bentley had packed on nearly 4 pounds and was healthy enough to return to the sea. Well-wishers gathered on the beach to bid him a safe voyage and a healthy new life.
Being able to release Bentley today was a big step for us. We've had a very busy year with strandings, so for us to be able to rehabilitate one that probably wouldn't have survived and get him back out to the wild is just a big accomplishment, and we're so glad to be part of it.
Green sea turtles like Bentley have a flattened body with a smooth heart-shaped shell, a small beaked head, and flippers that are well adapted for swimming long distances. They can grow up to 4 feet long and 400 pounds. Green sea turtles are an endangered species with about 90,000 nesting females worldwide. In Florida, they have made a dramatic comeback thanks to the years of conservation efforts. In less than 40 years, the species has gone from nearly vanishing to laying thousands of nests on Florida beaches every year. This year, more than 800 green sea turtles nested on Volusia County's beaches and the Volusia half of Canaveral National Seashore. Since January 1st, the Marine Science Center has treated more than 100 sea turtles, dozens of hatchlings, and 75 other reptiles, including gopher tortoises, box turtles, and freshwater turtles. The Marine Science Center is open to the public at 100 Lighthouse Drive in Ponce Inlet. Visitors may view the Turtle Hospital and walk through a marine display area and a seabird rehabilitation center from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday and noon to 4 p.m. Sundays. For more information, you can visit marinesciencecenter.com. More than 1,500 volunteers put on their worst clothes and removed thousands of pounds of trash from Volusia County's beaches, rivers, and parks on a recent Saturday afternoon. The most common items recovered were cigarette butts, food wrappers, and plastic bottle caps. One volunteer at the Port Orange Causeway Park made an incredible find, a sickened gull that required medical attention. The bird was delivered to the Marine Science Center, where it is recovering at the Bird Rehabilitation Hospital. The local cleanups were part of the International Coastal Cleanup and the Halifax Indian River Cleanup. The county's Environmental Management Division coordinated the massive effort, which had a significant local impact. Becky O'Keefe, who coordinated the county's efforts, was one of 64 volunteers at Andy Romano Park in Ormond Beach.
It's very important to keep the beach clean. Trash is not only an eyesore, trash endangers marine life. It can get entangled around the necks of sea turtles or dolphins, so we want to stop trash at its source, which is what this is all about, before it has a chance to endanger marine life. And volunteers around the world work together to clean up trash, and they create a marine debris index, and this marine debris index is used to get tallies of marine debris and work to get governmental changes made. We had over 1,800 register, so I expect around 1,500 to 1,800. We have 20 public locations, 10 of which are beachside locations, 10 of which are river locations, and then we have 14 other private locations along the beach and rivers.
Trash in waterways is more than an eyesore. It's a serious pollution problem that affects the health of people, wildlife, and economies. For example, trash in the waterway can be a health hazard to swimmers, and it harms wildlife that eats it or gets trapped in it. It can also undermine tourism and economic activity. Volusia County residents can do their part to help by disposing trash properly before it has a chance to entangle dolphins or endanger sea turtles. Last year, more than 560,000 volunteers in 87 countries collected more than 16 million pounds of ocean-bound garbage during the International Coastal Cleanup, which is sponsored by the Ocean Conservancy. As of 2013, nearly 35.3 million people were living with HIV globally, 1.2 million in the U.S., 106,335 in Florida, and 1,410 people here in Volusia County. The Florida Department of Health in Volusia County recently issued a Healthy Volusia quarterly report that takes a closer look at HIV and AIDS in Volusia County. Stephanie Strong talks with Patrick Forand, the AIDS program manager, to find out the impact of HIV and AIDS and what services are offered at the health department in this segment of Community Health Matters.
The Florida Department of Health in Volusia County issued Healthy Volusia's quarterly report on HIV/AIDS in Volusia County.
And we're just pulling this information together to give the community update of health on their health status in regards to AIDS. What's going on? What is the incidence of AIDS? Where within our county is it most prevalent? And so that at least that way we can begin to address and assess what areas need the most assistance.
Purpose.
We just wanted to make sure that everyone understands what the community looks like as far as where HIV/AIDS is. It's still a disease that needs to be thought of. It's not going away. There is no cure. There is no vaccine for HIV. So we need to make sure that the community understands that it is still prevalent. There are risks that people still put themselves at to contract HIV, and just to be on the lookout to make sure that they do know who they are interacting with and some of the causes that they might have to contract HIV.
As of 2013, nearly 35.3 million people were living with HIV globally, 1.2 million in the United States, 106,335 in Florida, and 1,410 people in Volusia County. According to the Florida Department of Health Bureau of HIV/AIDS, 1 in 105 black females and 1 in 79 black males are living with HIV/AIDS in Volusia County. Hispanic females, 1 in 614. Hispanic males, 1 in 259. White females, 1 in 1,356. White males, 1 in 353. Decrease in cases.
We have seen a decrease overall in both black and Hispanic cases of HIV, but that does not mean we are seeing decreases across the board. We are seeing increases in both black and white cases of men who have sex with men. That's the largest population that is affected by HIV, and that's where we're seeing most of the new cases come through, not only in Volusia County, but also statewide.
What services are offered at DOH Volusia?
Here at the Health Department, we offer HIV/AIDS counseling and testing. It's extremely important that everyone knows their status. You can come in and get tested for HIV. We also offer prevention and education about HIV. We offer free condoms so that you can prevent the spread of HIV. We also offer case management. If someone is positive for HIV, they can come to the Health Department and speak with the case manager and get enrolled into services that they might qualify for being HIV positive, as well as medication assistance.
To review the Healthy Volusia Report on HIV/AIDS in Volusia County, please visit www.volusiahealth.gov. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Stephanie Strong, Public Information Officer for the Florida Department of Health in Volusia County.
A new business training program is now available to Volusia companies to help them go from good to better to Volusia's best. Joanne Magley has more in this week's Business Beat.
Volusia's Best is a multifunction training program to help elevate knowledge and success of local companies. The program is a collaborative effort of dozens of service providers throughout Volusia County. It's facilitated by the Small Business Development Center at Daytona State College. Ned Harper is the center's director.
A lot of the service providers kept complaining we're the best kept secret in town. So we said, how can we collaborate? How can we all work together and combine our resources and get the word out to businesses that, investing in yourself, spending a little bit of time sharpening the saw, quit trying to cut trees with a dull saw, take a little bit of time, make yourself better.
Harper says the whole idea behind Volusia's Best is to have companies go from good to great.
There's been a few great companies that have really grown our economy, people like NASCAR, International Speedway Corporation, Brown & Brown, one of the largest insurance companies in the country, Hawaiian Tropic, started out in someone's garage, and international company. Many companies have gone from that good to great. But we have so many other good companies that could be great. All they need are the resources and the assistance to help them go from good to great. And that's what Volusia is Best is all about.
There are 7 keys to the Volusia's Best Skill Development Program. Systems, doing the right thing at the right time, engaged employees, relationship building, vision and leadership, information technology, capital management, and exceeding expectations.
We have an assessment that is done by the company. The company looks at those 7 areas and rates themselves. They may rate themselves as a 10, which means they're great. They do not need any assistance in that area. They may look at another area and say, this has been difficult for us. We really can't figure out how to market in this day and time with social media, etc. So I'm a 5 in this area. So once a company assesses the areas that they feel that they're weak in, that they could need assistance to grow, then they can contact us and we will go over how we can get them in a program designed to help them improve in that area.
Van Canada is the manager at Florida Small Business Development Center at Daytona State College. With more than 30 years experience in the banking industry, his primary role with Volusia's Best is to help companies improve their capital.
One of the cornerstones of the financial aspect of Volusia's Best will be the training program called Profit Mastery. And in that program, it's designed for companies to learn how to better manage their business using the financials, the balance sheet and the P&L and the financial ratios. In the past, companies were very used to measuring themselves against themselves. So if their profitability, for example, was improved over prior year, that was a good thing. With the Profit Mastery program, not only do we measure those types of improvements, but also look at the industry financial comparative data to see how a company is doing against a similar company.
To achieve the Volusia's Best seal, companies must participate in advanced programs. Once completed, they work with a consultant to show how they've executed what they've learned. They receive CEUs for the program, and 48 CEUs in a year earns the company the Volusia's Best designation.
We looked at things like the Sterling Award and Malcolm Baldrige, Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval, and said, hey, people recognize this and they want to do businesses with companies that have some kind of designation that says, we're better.
And Harper says through grants, scholarships, and other funded resources, the Volusia's Best training may be available at little or no cost to participating companies. For more information, call the Small Business Development Center at 386-506-4723 or go online to sbdcdaytona.com. For the Business Beat, I'm Joanne Magley.
Let's head into the studio to join Community Information Director Dave Byron and his guest, UCF's Small Business Incubator Manager Connie Bernal.
Well, thanks, Amber, and hi, everyone. The Volusia County Council is a major investor in the county's first business incubator program at Daytona Beach International Airport. Operated by the University of Central Florida, it appears this was money very well spent. The incubator, now 4 years old, is bustling with clients. Today we'll get an update on the county's Business Incubator program with our studio guest, Connie Bernal. She's the site manager for the UCF Business Incubator at Daytona Beach International Airport. Connie, how you doing today?
Good, thank you. Thank you so much for having me here.
Hey, for those folks out there that are not familiar with the concept of a business incubator, give us a layman's description of what a business incubator is.
A business incubator is a place where we help companies to start, to grow, and to be successful. It's an ecosystem full of mentors, full of professional people that will help the startups to get to the next level.
So a lot of communities are turning to helping existing companies grow, take the next step, and I think that's what you're saying your business incubator is all about.
Yes, that's what we do, and actually this is a resource for the community to start companies, and the entrepreneurs who decide to take the risk, they're the ones who are going to stay here forever.
Of course, the county council put up the money to build the facility and provide some operating assistance, but the program is actually operated by the University of Central Florida, and that's a strong suit for the university. Tell us about how the university is connected with this incubator system.
Okay, well, the University of Central Florida started its first incubator 15 years ago. Now they have the knowledge, the experience, the people, and the connectivity to make the incubator successful.
So let's say I'm a startup company. I'm in business, but I want to grow to the next step. How do I get into the incubator? How do I become familiar with that?
They come and talk to me, and it's when I do a general interview and I see if the company fits the incubator criteria. And then I kind of see what stage is the business. Is startup stage 1 or startup stage 2, and if I find that the startup is too early, we will help them to get ready for incubation. We have a program that is called the pre-incubation, and that is more kind of working with me, so getting that idea ready to go to the market. So once they're ready, they go to a class in Orlando. It's called the Excellence in Entrepreneurship class. And that class is 8 sessions, Tuesdays and Thursdays during the evening time. And at the end of the class, the entrepreneurs have to present to a group of judges. It's like kind of Shark Tank type of event.
Right.
So they present, and the judges say, yes, you are a good fit for the incubator, then they can start the process. And then they have an office, they have access to the incubator 24/7, and then we start working with the entrepreneur with tactics, business strategy, and we connect them with a lot of resources and mentors that will help the entrepreneur to get to the next level.
So obviously, you know, as you said, you screen these companies to make sure that they are ready to be in an incubator. So once they're accepted in the incubator program, do they pay to be in, or how does that work?
They only pay a little fee, like the rent of the office.
Right.
But that is something that we kind of ask because we want them to have some skin in the game.
Right.
It's not because we need the money, because thanks to the Volusia County, we have the building and we have the money to work.
Right.
But the little fee makes them feel committed to the program, and what we do with the rent, we kind of buy resources for them to be successful.
And I would think that one of the advantages of being in the incubator is they get to rub elbows, I guess, with the other companies that are in the incubator and, you know, share kind of successes, lessons learned, that sort of thing.
What is going on right now at the incubator is the companies support each other. For instance, I'm going to give you an example. I have a company that do code, and they do platforms, portals, they do websites, and they are going to be training the future coders and developers in the county. Now I have 3 companies that are doing e-commerce. They're building portals and platforms.
Right.
What is going on right now is when these companies need a coder or developer, they go next door, hey, I need a coder in somebody specialized in Ruby, for instance.
Right.
So then the company says, yes, I have one, how long? And then this person goes to another company, and that's how this company creates jobs. So the companies can grow with the people we're training right now. So that's a very interesting
Give us an example of some of the types of training that a company would go through in the incubator. What sorts of things do you provide in terms of assistance?
So once they move in, they start with the business strategy. So we start working on the business model canvases. We help them to create their business model. One of the signature events that we have at the incubator is the intellectual property symposium.
Right.
So we bring the experts, and the experts teach them how to patent, how to do copyrights, and all related to legal.
Right.
So if the entrepreneur needs to know more about social media or about marketing, I bring an expert to teach social media, marketing, and all that stuff. We have a lot of seminars and workshops, and one of the good things that we have right now is our partnership with SCORE. So SCORE have a lot of good seminars and workshops related to business.
Right.
So they're helping me to bring those events. And now I'm providing more technology
Right.
related seminars. So that's why we're gonna start the coding school, the rapid prototype 101 type of class, and we're going to provide more seminars related to grants, small business innovation research grants,
Right.
and small business technology transfer grants. So those are good seminars that we are going to do in the next year.
Give us just kind of a general overview of the types of companies that you're helping right now.
90% of the companies are technology companies. Yes. So they have like a type of e-commerce type of business. Other companies are clean technologies related to water purification, water filtration. Then we have a couple of companies that are doing more like an engineer type of services. And we have one rocket science.
Wow.
Yes, he's developing a robot to go to space and clean from the debris. So that's a very interesting company.
I guess so.
He just won a phase 1 SBIR grant, which is going to be great. And that leads to phase 2 SBA grant that is going to be good money that is going to come to Volusia County. So we're excited about him.
So do you have openings for other companies? Are you always screening companies to keep mostly full?
Yes, we always want to see what's going on out there. We always interviewing, always helping. We will never leave anybody behind.
Right.
And a good thing that we have right now going on at the incubator, we open a co-working space. Co-working space, we have like 10 workstations, and that place is for pre-incubation. So if I have a company that wanted to start, but I don't have a space, they can start in the co-working space.
But of course, the incubator at Daytona Beach International Airport is a county-wide. Everyone is welcome to apply to be there. So it happens to be in Daytona Beach, but it's not Daytona Beach exclusive.
Exactly. Most of the companies that I have at the incubator, they're not from Daytona. Right. They're from Port Orange, Ormond Beach, from Edgewater. They have a couple from New Smyrna. Yes, that's Volusia County Incubator.
Right. So Connie, if there are folks out there now that perhaps would like to get more information about the incubator, maybe they want to talk to you, maybe they want you to come and make a presentation to their civic group, how do people get more information?
They can call to our office. The phone number is 386-872-3100, or they can go to our website, www.incubator.ucf.edu.
Well, Connie, it's hard to believe that the incubator is now 4 years old. As you said, a lot of companies have gone on to the next level, and you got new that you're bringing on. So it sounds like a very big success story in the county's economic development program.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to be the site manager of the incubator. I'm very excited. And next year, we're going to be booming. The companies are growing, and they're hiring people, and it's going to be awesome, as it has been.
Well, thanks for sharing the information with us today.
Thank you so much.
Our guest today, Connie Bernal, she's the site manager at the UCF Volusia County Business Incubator at Daytona Beach International Airport. And with that, Amber, we'll go back to you.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can always feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. Incidentally, you can find the County Council's meeting calendar there too. In fact, you can use volusia.org to find out about meeting dates, workshops, topics of interest, activities, and how you can become involved. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Osman. Have a wonderful evening.